Bueno, nuestro siguiente panelista es Mauricio Díaz Granados, del Jardín Botánico de Valle.
Good morning, everyone. Excellent. So I would like to start my presentation by introducing briefly the York Botanical Garden. This is been my new home since June last year. I am the Chief Science Officer and Dean of the International Plant Science Center. This is one of the most storied and important botanical gardens. And since its founding in 1891, it has contributed tremendously to the understanding of the flora and the fauna of the world. There you go. Including collaborations and research worldwide. And this is a huge, tremendous effort, especially since the foundation in the Caribbean, in the wider Caribbean region, and in many countries in the global south, in Brazil, Myanmar, Vanuatu, Colombia, and many others. Our living and scientific collections have some of the most significant holdings of botanical knowledge, including the largest herbarium of the Western Hemisphere, with over 8 million specimens, and the world's largest botanical library under one roof, with 12 million items, both collections that serve to benefit all humanity. We have in the science division about 120 scientists working in over 45 countries and addressing various themes from plant molecules and species all the way to entire ecosystems. And we are now bringing a new vision. We are hiring new talent, and we are applying a new focus to address some of the most important issues that humanity is facing, such as the climate and environmental crisis. Now let me tell you a little bit more about the historical work of the York Botanical Garden in the Caribbean. Since its founding, the Botanical Garden carried out a huge amount of expeditions in the Caribbean region. So we are talking that from 1898 to 1918, the Botanical Garden carried out 136 expeditions, including 50 of them in the Caribbean, and about 20 of them in those 20 years in Cuba. So the pictures that you see there were part of an expedition that the founders of the garden, the Britons, Nathaniel Lord Britton and Elizabeth Knight Britton, together with Stuart Gager, took in 1910 as part of one of these expeditions in Cuba. And what we have done is actually reconstruct these expeditions, that they are now available in Google Earth, and you can access the information about each of the expeditions along with the Google Map reconstructions in our portal. The garden also carried out an immense amount of work in Puerto Rico, and the Britons led over 16 expeditions in these 27 years of work, collecting 10,136 specimens, including 38 new species for Puerto Rico. They worked on developing the first flora of Puerto Rico. Unfortunately, they passed away in 1934, and they couldn't finish the flora of Puerto Rico. However, we have digitized all the flora, all the manuscript, and this includes 400 laminae of the illustrations, beautiful illustrations, you see them on the left, of the Britons of this initial flora of Puerto Rico, and the detailed description. So all this information is now available both through the library and the herbarium. NYBG also worked since the beginning in the flora of the Bahamas, And there we had 15 years of expeditions led by Louis Jones Knight Brace, who was actually a cousin of Elizabeth Knight Britton. And he was an Irish, Scottish, Bahamian researcher affiliated to NYBG. And he collected over 4,000 specimens of mosses, ferns, plants, etc., that constituted the first inventories of the Bahamas for creating this flora. Let me tell you now a little bit of more recent work. So there you go. Some of our researchers have continued going into and carrying out work in the Caribbean. And this includes Wade Thomas, who's been collecting and exploring the diversity of the sedges family, the Cyperaceae, and Fabian Michelangeli exploring the Tiboquina family, the Melastomataceae. We also, between 2012 and 2014, trained 6 researchers from Cuba at NYBG and in Cuba as well. Regarding the ethnobotanical work, carried out a few projects in 2020. This is some of the most remarkable projects on the left. You see an example of a root tonic plant. So they carried out an exploration about the status of conservation of over 200 species used as a root tonic in Jamaica. And on the right, you see a study and investigation modeling the conservation status of the wild cinnamon, Cinnamodendron corticosum, that you see over there. That is an endemic plant. And from Jamaica. A few projects, one on the over there you go. On the left, on the medicinal plants of the Caribbean. In the center, we've been trying to compile on the information about the general uses of the Caribbean as a hotspot of traditional knowledge. And also on the right, very interestingly, we've been seeing how this traditional knowledge of useful plants has been transferred to the city of New York, because all these migrants are now bringing this knowledge of use of the plants to the urban gardens in the city. We're talking a little bit more about systematics and plant taxonomy in general. We have 3 studies, recent studies, one on Samias and Sticas with Dennis Stevenson, trying to understand from the systematics to the genomics of this very interesting group. Andrew Henderson was carried out the revision of the palms, and he's still working on this in the Caribbean. And Fabian Michelangeli exploring the diversity of the melastomes in the region. And very recently, last year, we opened a new living collection in our garden. It's part of the Edible Academy, and it's called the African American Garden, exhibition dedicated to the Caribbean, called the Caribbean Experience. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the products and diplomacy at NYBG. The New York Botanical Garden has contributed in various ways to the region. For instance, the garden advised the creation of the Leon Levy native plant preserve back in 2011 and provided the initial database for the creation of this preserve. It also created 2 virtual museums. There's a little bit of a lag between the computer. There you go. It created 2 virtual museums for the Caribbean. One for the Saba Island, and the other one for St. Eustatius, so Statia. So you can see the image over there of the virtual museums. There you go. And the garden has also contributed to the creation of various key biodiversity areas in various countries, including Puerto Rico, Bonaire, Bahamas, the Lesser Antilles, etc. And regarding science and diplomacy, also, we have done a significant work. In 1992, the garden contributed to this collaboration agreement between the US and the Cuban government that is described in this document by Brian Boone. And that has allowed us a program of exchange of students and capacity, as well as expeditions. Also in these pictures, you can see the ceremony of signing an agreement with the University of Puerto Rico that is still ongoing back in 2007. And in 2007, also at the ATBC meeting, Brian Boone and Jesus Danilo Chinea Rivera organized this symposium about linking tropical biology to human dimensions, presenting the program of the Caribbean from NYPG as well. In this screen, you can see a few examples of our work and contributions: the Bahama flora, the Puerto Rican Virgin Islands, ferns, orchid flora of Puerto Rico, flora of St. John's, etc. And these are examples of the scientific surveys that we have for Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. And we have also digitized all these manuscripts in our archives for Cuba. So if you haven't visited the library recently, please do so, because there's way more to check. How much we have in terms of our collections? We have for the Caribbean 342,000 specimens, including almost 280,000 fully transcribed specimens. The earliest of those was collected in 1688. The most recent that we have in the database is from 2022. And on the right, you can see the average of the numbers of specimens added every year to the collection in intervals of 20 years, so 25 years. So you can see that during the early 1900s, every year, we were adding about 4,000 specimens to the herbarium. And this is the distribution of the specimens digitized and transcribed across the various countries. You can see obviously some strong countries such as Bahamas, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, etc. So very, very significant collections of the Caribbean region. Unfortunately, some of the specimens that we have are extinct species, and these are 4 examples of species that are now extinct, that there is at least we have them in the herbarium. But also we have very interesting collections, including these 4 specimens that I am listing there, collected in the 1700s, and some collections even by Humboldt. Now let me tell you very quickly about the current development in NYPG science. Back in December, we launched our new strategic plan. This strategic plan has 5 goals: power of place, front forward, management excellence, digital impact, and environmental action. And in parentheses, those numbers corresponding to the number of initiatives that we are committed to deliver within each of the goals. And we have also launched a master plan to improve the garden, including nurture, discovery, and community, expand experience and revenue potential, reveal programmatic excellence, preserve the beauty of the garden, and strengthen climate resilience and sustainability. We are now developing our new science strategy through 2030, and also we are going to be developing our scientific collection strategy. And we can see new opportunities for the garden moving forward. including ecological restoration, conservation of species and ecosystems, through food and agricultural systems, urban conservation, delivering nature-based solutions, artificial intelligence and machine learning, bioinformatics, drone and remote sensing. These are some of the areas that we have prioritized for moving forward. And regarding our future perspectives and opportunities in the region, I want to mention first, leveraging our collections, our scientific collections for you. So we want to invite you all to use these fabulous collections. Travel awards, we are offering travel awards, so you can come to us and visit. We have a graduate studies program, and we've been funding students, many of them from Latin America. We want to contribute with you to deliver nature-based solutions. Let's work together to implement these emerging technologies for science, and let's keep building strong partnership. And last but not least, we are back. So, and with that, I want to thank you very much. And if there is a short question, or I have a very short video that I would like to show you. Possible. Is there time for? All right. And please, if you have any questions, you know what.
Science at NYBG is purposeful,
Innovative,
holistic,
fun and interesting,
passion,
collaboration,
synergy,
comprehensive,
remarkable.
Plants.
Science at NYBG is purposeful,
innovative,
holistic,
fun and interesting,
passion,
collaboration,
synergy,
comprehensive,
Remarkable.
Plants, people, and culture.
Science at NYBG is the future. It's the future scientists and the future of our planet.
All life on Earth depends on plants and fungi.
Plants provide our food. Plants are the basis of a lot of our medicines. Plants provide materials for our houses, for our clothes.
By studying carefully the interactions between plants and their environment, we can gain a lot of benefits for our own survival.
If we are going to be good stewards of the planet, the only way we can do it is if we understand plants.
If we can understand how to work with plants to do what they do best, we'll put ourselves in a much better solution for a sustainable future.
People have changed ecosystems and have changed ecologies on a global scale, and it's going to be up to us to help to change the ecology in a way that allows all of us to persist into the future. Plants are a huge part of that, and we are purposeful plant people at the York Botanical Garden.
We have this modern laboratory with all of the tools and latest technologies to investigate plant diversity.
I joke with the other people here because they go out to the rainforest to collect, and my collecting is going out onto the grounds or going to the glass houses. It's really a great resource because the diversity of our collection.
The Lou Esther T. Mertz Library is proudly a part of NYBG Science. We have archival collections of some of the most important botanists in the world, as well as the most current and up-to-date academic and scientific journals. For over a century, the library and the science staff have worked hand in hand to advance our understanding of the natural world.
The William and Linda Steer Herbarium is one of the largest herbaria in the world with nearly 8 million specimens. The specimens support research in a wide range of fields and disciplines.
We have collections here that are found nowhere else in the world. We have an incredible depth of collections. We can go back 300 years and see the diversity of Earth across time.
The data associated with all of our digitized specimens is incredibly valuable as a research tool to understand the flora of the entire Earth and how it's continually changing.
There are very few places on Earth that have the resources of individuals here, the collection of plant science collaborators and colleagues We have a large group of people dedicated to study plants from all different angles.
We all have a different view, but ultimately we need all of those different aspects together to create the whole and the synergy between them.
We have the purpose and the motivation to carry out science at the best level to deliver solutions to the world.
Thank you very much.
We have time for a question.
Alicia, thank you. This is incredibly insightful. I wanted to say thank you to New York Botanical Gardens. Your Lord Britain, the Britons actually came to Bermuda in 1914 and produced a flora of Bermuda, which you could have easily included in your presentation. I'm sure with the breadth of information there. But we're grateful. We know we're in there with you. Any opportunities to network with you? Looking forward to a question in terms of any additional expeditions.
Thank you very much for the question. Yes, I couldn't fit all the information in the allowed time, but obviously there's expeditions and contributions to the Cayman Islands and a huge amount of work in pretty much all the Greater Antilles, mainly in the early 1900s. Regarding new expeditions, obviously we are now refreshing our team, we are hiring new people, and it's something that is all grant dependent. But what I want, my main message is that we want to collaborate. We want to again start participating and helping each other, being here and sharing with you and going out with you as well. So hopefully we can plan for future expeditions, and please come back to me, write to me, use these resources, apply to the travel grants. We have resources, so we can help you bring in your researchers to the herbarium and to work in the library, but also through the studentships as well. So let's work together, and thank you so much.
Mauricio, a round of applause for Mauricio.